Hello everyone and welcome back to the Prince of Wales School. It's 20 past 11 on Wednesday the 29th of April 2020. I hope you're well this morning and have been enjoying the challenges in virtual school. Maybe a bit of Joe Wick's workout this morning, or maybe you've been taking part in Mr Treble's challenge, which I think has been set knowing what the weather conditions are like today. So it would be great to see how you're getting on there. I'm also aware lots of people taking part in the Power Mass, and of course our 5 plays in 5 days challenge is continuing. And well done for everyone who's already sent me work today, sharing what you're up to. We've got a few people saying hello to us already this morning. Good morning to Lily, who says hello everybody. Good morning to the Ingram family. Good morning from Hugo and from Harlan. Sebastian says a big hello to us all. Good morning, Sebastian. It's great to have you joining us on our whole school assembly slot this morning. This, I think, is our 32nd whole school assembly. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? And over the last 32 sessions, we've had some amazing guests. And I'm delighted that we've got another fantastic mystery guest today. Before we go across them, I've got a few more people saying hello. So let's see who else we've got saying hello. We've got a hi from Holly. Hello, Holly. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I wonder if you've taken on Mr. Treble's challenge yet today. I look forward to seeing your videos later. Hello from Seb, and that's from Miss Brown. I think that's coming from school, that one. Hello to everyone who's watching at school. Hello from Benji. Hello to Rosa, who's watching us. Hello from Isaac and Kissy, who are tuning in. It's wonderful to see that you're joining us today. We have got a lovely treat in store for you today. Good morning, everyone from Philippa and everyone up at Maiden Castle Farm. It's wonderful to see you all this morning, and thank you for joining us for this virtual assembly. We've got a very special guest joining us this morning. I'm going to head over live to them now and say good morning to PC Nigel Scott. Good morning, PC Scott.
Good morning, Prince of Wales. How are you today? Hope everybody's well and following all the rules and doing all the good things.
Wonderful to see you this morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us live on Facebook and YouTube. It's great to have you as a guest on Assembly. I think you've got some things to share with us this morning, PC Scott.
Yes, I've got a few things to talk about. I'm sure that you'll have some questions you want to ask. So please feel free to ask any questions. I'm sure that Mr. Spracklen will have some questions to ask, and I'm sure that the viewers will have some questions to ask. So please get them coming.
Fantastic. We've got a hello from Ethan, who's joining us this morning. We've got a hello from George.
Hi there, Ethan.
Jacob and Ralph are watching, and Alfie's watching. And the Hoskins say, it's great to see you looking so well, Mr. Scott.
Thank you very much.
So,
Hi there. Right.
You go ahead. Sorry, PC Scott.
Well, I'm a police officer, and I work specifically with the British Transport Police. I used to work with Dorset Police, and now I work on the railway.
Ah, so what sort of things do you do on the railway, PC Scott?
Well, the most important thing I do is to make sure that people are safe on the railway. That is what is so important. And the railway, people don't realise always, but it is such a dangerous place. Reason being, not only are there big, fast-moving trains that can approach very fast without you even hearing them sometimes, but there's electricity, which is why you must never, ever go on the tracks. Now, I'm going to show you a fuse from your house electricity. Now, everybody look around at your house and just have a look and see if you can see. You don't need to touch it, but see if you can see a wire going into a plug. Something electric in your house. Is everybody looking now? Is everybody having a good look? Yeah, I'm sure you are. So everybody has seen a fuse. Now, inside the wire that you're looking at is a very small fuse. Can you see it? This makes your house electricity safe. Now, you all know how your house electricity is very, very dangerous. Just to show you how dangerous it is and how different it is on the railway, this is a railway fuse. See the difference in size?
That's a massive difference in size there, PC Scott.
This is, yes. So does that mean that it is far more dangerous? I think it does. If this is so dangerous and you understand this is dangerous, how dangerous is this? This is a copy of a railway fuse, because with the social distancing, I can't get to travel to collect a railway fuse, but the railway fuses are actually bigger than this. So that's quite something, isn't it? That tells you how dangerous it is. So please, 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 when you are on the train station, keep away from the end of the platforms, keep away from the edge of the tracks. There is usually a line, a yellow line, which you need to keep behind when the train is approaching, or you're on the platform. And when you are in the countryside near a railway line, make sure you are always safe and with an adult. Railway tracks are not places where you can go to play.
That's a really important message.
That's just a little bit about.
A few more messages from people. We've got good morning, Mr Spracklen, and good morning, PC Scott, from Jessica and Joshua, who are tuning in. We've got our first question from Kizzy.
Nice to hear from you, Joshua.
Kizzy wants to know if you keep anything in your helmet.
Oh, well, there's lots of room inside there, and I haven't got anything in there at the moment, but I sometimes keep notepaper in there. I sometimes keep little different things that I want to carry. Perhaps in the winter, I'll carry a little pair of woolen gloves just to keep my hands warm. Sometimes I'll keep a pair of protective gloves in there. That's one thing I'll sometimes carry in there. And if you look inside this hat, oh, it's a different hat. I usually got different forms and things in there as well. And I have on occasion had a little snack in there as well. Hope that answers that question for you.
Evie wants to know, how many naughty people have you caught, PC Scott?
Oh, well, I've worked hard at catching lots and lots over a lot of years. I've been doing this now for nearly 40 years. In fact, yeah, 40 years. So that's quite a long time. And I've caught a lot of bad people in that. And when I catch bad people, that's what we do with them. We lock them up and take them to the police station, and so that they can't hurt themselves or anybody else, and they can't run away. We put these handcuffs on them. Everybody see the handcuffs? These are quite old now. I've had them a long time.
And what made you want to be a police officer, PC Scott?
Well, I know that you do a lot of reading and a lot of studying books at school, and you've got a library. Well, when I was at school, we used to have a library, and we used to have books to help us to learn to read called Ladybird books. And that is the Ladybird book of the policeman. And it's got all sorts of descriptions about the exciting things that police officers do. It's got pictures in there of all the different things that police officers have. I'll just show you that picture. And you can see on there, it's got a picture of the handcuffs in the corner there. Just like these ones. So the other things that we have in the book is the truncheon just there. I've got one of those there. It has a a long leather strap that you can hold so it can't be pulled away from you. And then you can use it to whack the bad people, which is always a good thing to do. So that was one of the things that inspired me, because we like inspiration. To be a policeman was that book there. I still have the actual book, but it's getting a bit falling apart now. So this is a good condition copy.
And you've got a different hat on.
Any other questions?
You've got a different hat on.
Oh, yes, I like dressing up. And I've got a picture of a policeman there. That is a picture from the Ladybird book. And because everybody knew that I was inspired to be a police officer from the Ladybird books, that was presented to me when I retired after 30 years from the Dorset Police. And that picture is a picture from within the Ladybird books. It's a print that is quite there. And there's that picture inside the book there. Anybody got any questions to write?
I've got another question here.
Answer them if I...
Ethan says, PC Scott, do you ever use police dogs on the railway?
Right, Ethan. Yes, we do. All of the police dogs in the British Transport Police are based in London. So sometimes they travel a long, long way to go to jobs. And we get a lot of help from our kind help from our colleagues in the local police forces if we need a dog in an emergency. But they are very limited what we can do, because just as railways are dangerous places for people, railways are extremely dangerous places for dogs and their vulnerable paws. Lots of equipment on the railway can be dangerous to dogs. So my police dog colleagues don't always use their police dogs unless they are on a long lead. But they are very, very effective, as they are in catching criminals everywhere.
We've got a question here from Jacob and Ralph, which says, when do you wear the different hats?
Oh, I like different hats. I got another one there. This one's more for wet weather. Okay, so this hat here, is what we wear most of the days. This is a hat, especially now when we want to be seen. We are wearing these hats because they're much higher, which means that people can see you and see where there's a policeman. They are traditional, they are old, but they do highlight exactly where you are. Not only do we wear the hats that are tall like that, we wear these ones here, which are better for when you're in a car. And we wear these ones here, which when you're riding a motorbike and you're not wearing your crash helmet, you can wear that. And they crunch up really small, and they can hide away in a little hideaway place in your motorbike, and then instantly come back on, and you're immediately identifiable as a police officer again. And those ones they thought were a bit scruffy because they crunched up a bit, and so they gave us these ones. But I prefer the old one. So that's when we use the different hats. But to make sure that we're visible, we always have the opportunity, if we ever go onto the road, because with the police I'm with at the moment, we use the roads to get from one place to another, but we don't carry out police duties on the roads. However, we do carry out police duties on the railway lines, which the other police don't. So we have to be seen both on the roads with equipment that shows that we're visible for safety, and similarly on the railway lines, we have to be immediately visible. So that's, yeah. And I've also had some other different hats, which might just help Ethan. I've had a beret, which has been bright blue when I've worked internationally with the United Nations Police in Bosnia. And I'm not sure, we might have some international viewers today, have we?
Oh, well, if you're watching internationally, do make sure you make a comment, because we'd love to see who's watching internationally and where from. I've got another question here, a really good question from Isaac that says, how do you, or I suppose, how do your colleagues do their job now that the coronavirus is here?
Well, we have to continue doing our job as well as we can. We carry out as much distance as we can. Hopefully, that people are keeping indoors at the moment and not out doing crime. So there is a reduction in reported crime, which is really, really good. But the railways are safe places to travel anyway. But on those occasions when we do have to get involved, we can arrest people still. We have to take precautions, just being as careful as we can. We'll take them to the police station where everybody will be careful, and we will interview them as necessary. And sadly, one of my colleagues in London has died from coronavirus whilst he was on the duties. So we are as vulnerable as anybody else, which is how it is. We just have to be careful. Oh, hello, Hugo.
Hugo asks, have you ever been in a police helicopter?
Well, Hugo, yes, I have. I flew in a police helicopter on one occasion, and it went all around Dorchester, Weymouth, Portland, back around towards Wareham when we were looking for something specific. But I've used the information from helicopters many, many times, both looking for people on the railway, getting photographs of scenes from car crashes, looking down to get a better idea of what has happened. And I've also been involved in trying to find missing people from a helicopter and use that information from them, because they have equipment on which can identify the warmth from a person, which will show on their screens where the warmth is, and that is where the people are. And then they can use their radios to talk to the police officers on the ground, who can in turn go to the place and lock up the criminals, put them in the handcuffs, lead them back to the police station, and everything is good.
Now, PC Scott, I'm not sure if you well, I think I am sure, but do you recognise this comment? Who's this from? Look.
Hello from Bosnia. Mrs. Scott told me that PC Scott was talking to you, and I wanted to see what he was going to talk about. And there in the corner is a Bosnian flag. That's from a chap called Luke Scott. Now, Luke Scott used to be at Prince of Wales School, and coincidentally, he's got the same name as me, and that's because he's my son. I was an international police officer in Bosnia many years ago, and when Luke was very, very small, he's very, very big now, he's bigger than me. When he was very, very small, he came to visit me in Bosnia, and he now works there, working very hard.
Oh, well, good morning, Luke. Thank you for joining us. We've had a few other people joining us. Chef Debs has joined us. Good morning, Chef Debs. And we've also had
hello, Chef Debs. How are you today?
Hal saying that she's loving this morning. Mr. Tatchell asked, the Tatchell family asked, does Dorset have a police train?
No, unfortunately not. But there have been 3 police badged trains. Unfortunately, I can't immediately pinpoint the pictures of them, but I do have pictures of 2 of the police trains. One was used in an advert, which was quite good. That was back in the 1970s. Another one was used on rail safety scheme that was being promoted all across the country, and another one was used by a railway company to advertise British Transport Police as well. Now, actually specifically marked like police trains.
Oh, fantastic. Well, can I say a big thank you, PC Scott, for joining us this morning. You've been a fantastic guest, and we thoroughly enjoyed having you with us. We wish you and all your family well. And
thank you very much.
We will look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Prince of Wales.
Thank you
for your question.